Hi folks, welcome back to another review video. We will find out today if it was a night to remember for the band A Day to Remember in my review of their gig at the O2 Academy in Glasgow on Thursday the 22nd of May 2025. In this review, you'll know by now, I'm going to go over the venue, the merchandise that was on offer, the support band, the crowd atmosphere, the set list, and then my thoughts overall. For those of you who don't know me by now, my name is Ricky and my channel is called Relive the Music. Okay, so the gig was at the O2 Academy in Glasgow, which has got a capacity of about 2,500 people. And I got there about 7:30. The doors were at 7 p.m. and it was a bit of a queue formed outside. I had to wait maybe about 10 minutes or so to get to the front to security and get through, so that wasn't too bad. So I was inside the venue for about 20 to 8. Okay, so once through security I got inside and I couldn't actually go and look at the merchandise at that point because I had balcony booth standing tickets, so I was only able to go in after the show, but I'll talk about the merchandise just now. So there was like a few different t-shirts and long sleeved tops on offer, all at various different prices. So the actual sort of tour t-shirt, which is similar to the poster image for the gig with the black and kind of gold that had the band on the front and the dates I think in the back, it came in at £35. There was also a really nice kind of turquoise t-shirt which had the band on the front in sort of caricature style, and it came in at £40. The one that I was sort of tempted to buy but I didn't was they had a white sleeved long top and in red and blue writing that had the different songs on it, and I thought that looked really good. It's a wee bit different from your traditional black tops, but I decided against it. As I say, it was £50 and I'm just like, I bought quite a few tops recently at gigs, so I didn't do that, apart from the fact there was a massive queue at the end of the gig because everybody's exiting out and then, you know, folk are queuing for the merchandise as well. So you can see from the pictures what's on offer. I imagine it'll be the same at every gig. So I got upstairs about 20 to 8 and I proceeded to my area, which was the balcony booth. So there was only 4 booths open for this, so normally there's 6. And I do like this area now because it used to be you'd have about 15-20 people in each booth, but they do seem to have restricted the number of tickets that they sell for the areas. So I'd get in there and there was only like a couple in the booth that I picked, so I managed to get at the side at the front and had a clear, beautiful, unobstructed view. And I do quite like people watching. It's really good just looking down and you can see how full it is in the floor below, and you can look up round to the balcony, and yeah, it feels quite good. So I'm not sure I would have enjoyed it on the floor. I'm not sure I'd have been able to get some footage, and it would have been really hot, I think, just judging by how busy it was. Okay, the first band, they were called Split Chain, and they came on at 8 o'clock and they played for half an hour. So they were a 5-piece band from Bristol. It was weird because when the singer talked, he didn't have that sort of Bristol accent, you know, the one that's like, all right, that kind of former accent. Like, he just talked, I don't know, like normal. So they were okay. They kind of reminded me a bit of like Funeral for a Friend. There was some elements of that. They got through about 6 or 7 songs. I mean, it was okay. I'm not sure how many people that were there knew their stuff, because when I looked down at the crowd, you know, there wasn't really that many people singing along or into it. I mean, they were okay as an opener. You know, they did the job. I would need to listen to their music more to find out whether it was a band I'd be into, but they were okay. Okay, so to the main event themselves, so A Day to Remember, they came on stage at 9 o'clock and they played until about 10:30, 25 to 11, and they ripped through about 23 songs. And the price of the ticket, I'm pretty sure it was about £52 from memory, and obviously that was me in the balcony booth ticket. I don't think the ticket prices changed for whatever area you're in. So the place was packed out, to be honest. Even when I got to the balcony booth bit at 20 to 8, like it was pretty busy overall. And by the time A Day to Remember came on, it was pretty packed. So there was people standing at the front of the sort of sitting down in the balcony bit. So everybody that was behind them was kind of forced to stand up to see the concert, which, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I really agree with that, because people are buying season tickets for a reason. Maybe might not be able to stand for that long, but it didn't affect me. I had the balcony booth bit selfishly, so I had a really good view of the crowd below, and there's some really good footage on my accompanying video where I filmed about 11 or 12 songs. So check that out. I do zoom and pan to the crowd quite a bit because it was a good audience participation, but more than that in a wee minute. So yeah, the first time for me seeing A Day to Remember, you know, I'm not going to chat here and proclaim to be their biggest fan, but I do like their songs. I've listened to them for a few years, and I do have my favourites, and that's the ones that I kind of recorded for you and for myself on this video. I thought Jeremy, the singer, was really good. He talked to the crowd throughout and said how, you know, they were really pleased to start the gig in Glasgow and they always look forward to this show. And I know a lot of bands always do say that, but he did genuinely seem as if he meant that. So I wasn't kind of sure what set they were going to play, because this was the first night of the UK and European tour. So I'd looked at a set list at the start of May when they played a couple of shows in America, and they just seemed to sort of go through the latest album to begin with, the Big O album or Big Ole album, and then sort of do the greatest hits, if you want, at the end of it. So it was totally mixed up. Like the second song was I Made a Wax Larry, What Are You Made Of? And it was mixed throughout. So my plan was, I looked at this set list and thought, oh, I'll do that song, and I didn't know what was coming, but in a way that's kind of that was a good thing, and, you know, it added to the enjoyment and not knowing what was coming. So I thought the sound was good, you know. I wasn't too close to the speaker, so it wasn't distorted. It was loud, and I'm going to say it to you again, like, get yourself a set of earplugs. I'm wearing these just now. Like, you can't even see these in my ear if you're worried about looking uncool. They come in a wee case as well. Hardly take up any room, like, cost about a couple of pints, so I would honestly invest in one of these. It will save your hearing. So I'll take these out now. As I say, you can't even see them, they're clear. So yeah, the sound was good. I say I had my headphones in, I put them in and pull them out a wee bit, and I can hear the sound perfect. So Jeremy sounded good in vocals, the rest of the band sounded really good. I hadn't heard A Day to Remember live before, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I thought his vocals were great. I know during one of the songs, I think it might have been Resentment, that he had a problem with the in-ear mic, and if you watch the video, you'll see he goes over to the side and he's trying to get that fixed out, and he actually said to the crowd, saying, oh, how did I sound? Because I lost my in-ear mic and I was worried how I sounded, but I thought he sounded really good, and yeah, sounded like that throughout the show, to be honest. So the crowd, I've got to give kudos to the crowd. Like, I thought the crowd was excellent throughout. Personally, I'm not sure that I would have liked to have been downstairs, because there was so many mosh pits and circle pits throughout this gig. I think because of the type of music that A Day to Remember play, it kind of encourages that, and I've got plenty of footage on my accompanying video, because I'm hoping that maybe some of you watching this might have been at the gig and you might see yourself. So if you see yourself there, then, you know, let me know in the comments. It did look pretty cool from above. As I say, I was glad I was upstairs watching it and not down there. Maybe 20 years ago, but not now. There was really good sort of stage props throughout. So, like, 2 of the balcony booths were shut off when I got there, and there was like beach balls in the first 2, and they came down during one of the sort of third or fourth song. I can't remember what it was, and these giant beach balls which said A Day to Remember on it, and they were getting packed about the crowd. And then we had pyro at points. My God, the heat from that when it went off, and like when that, I mean, it was hot already in O2 Academy, and that was me standing in a booth that was pretty quiet. So I don't know what it'd have been like if you were down the front in the busy bit with that going off. You could really feel the heat. There was smoke machines and they had confetti at several points, so that all added to the atmosphere. As I say, I think it was really good. The crowd did seem definitely up for this. Unlike the support, like the crowd were singing along, hands in the air, and plenty of crowd surfing throughout. Jeremy referenced that, and thanks to the security staff at the O2 Academy. So I counted there was about 12 people at the front of the stage, and I don't know whether they check out the bands beforehand or look at them to sort of know what's going to be involved, but considering there was about 4 people at the front for the Skunk Anansie gig, and they had 12 here, I think they knew that it was going to be a busy one, and I hope that nobody was injured because there was like loads of people going over throughout the night. Okay, so continuing on with the crowd theme, there was a part in the show, I think it was before Mindreader, where Jeremy was saying to the audience, look, do you know what we've been doing with like our last couple of gigs? And they got basically people up to, well, crowd surf the crowd surfers. So this is whereby you had people that were crowd surfing, and then other people were standing on top of the crowd surfers, and they were getting helping hands to sort of stand upright. So it looked pretty cool. So throughout this song, I'm pretty sure it was Mindreader, there was loads of people going over the top, and the security had their work cut out. So I hope that nobody was injured from that, but it did look pretty cool. As I say, I thought the crowd throughout was brilliant. You know, everybody looked to be having a good time down there, but not for me personally. 20 years ago, yes, but not now. Okay, so we also had a wee added bonus of a song which was chosen by the bassist that just joined recently called Bobby, and Jeremy had said that he'd asked him, like, what song would you like us to perform? And much to Jeremy's annoyance, he'd said Since You've Been Gone. So I don't think they played this for about 10 years, so this was a wee bit of a treat and an unexpected bonus for me. So they played a wee intro to Pantera's Walk, and then they kicked into Since You've Been Gone, which is a Kelly Clarkson cover. And it might be cheesy to those sort of die-hard Date Remember fans, but I was pleased that they played it, and I thought that went down well in the crowd. And Jeremy didn't look too happy, but it was good for me personally to hear that one. Okay, so just summing up, I thought this gig was excellent. You know, they did 20 songs, they went off, did an encore, came back on and played If It Means a Lot to You, which is a song that I really, really like, an acoustic slow number, and then the full band came back out towards the end of the song, and it went down really well. They pulled it off brilliantly, thought Jeremy sounded really good in vocals. And then they finished the gig with The Downfall of Us All. So yeah, I can't fault it. I would definitely go back and see them again. The O2 Academy has grown on me as a venue. Well, if you can get the balcony booth position, like, I'm not sure that I would have enjoyed that too much down on the main floor, because the crowd was so mental. So if you're watching this review and you were there, like, let me know what you thought. Standout tracks for you, or songs that they didn't play that you wish that they had, or if you saw yourself in the crowd from my accompanying video, because I did try and film quite a lot of the crowd, because for me, watching down, that was a big part of the experience. Just seeing how the crowd was into it and the amount of people crowd surfing just added to the atmosphere. So yeah, please give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and think about subscribing to my channel, because I think the next sort of big gig is back there for Steel Panther, and I've got balcony booth tickets again. So yeah, please think about subscribing to my channel and sharing it. And until the next time, have a good day.